All right. Well, I haven't been back in the shop that much, but I have had a chance to make this coffee table. At least I made part of it. What you're looking here is the top. It's 8-quarter red oak that my friend Oleg from My Woodworks actually donated to the fire company because he had some, so he milled it, glued it, and then rough sanded it for me, which I appreciated. So I just routed all the edges, give it a final sanding. I already finished the bottom and the sides with shellac because that's what I usually use, and I had it on hand. But I wanted to do something a little bit more durable for the coffee table top, so with drinks and whatnot, and a little heavier use. So I am going to use some armor seal in a satin. It's the first time I've used it, but I did a decent amount of research on it. It seems like it's a good finish. It's self-leveling. It really looks good when it's dry. It doesn't get cloudy, and it's, like I said, it's fairly easy to apply. So we're going to throw that on now, get the first coat done. It's already sanded. Probably sand with 320 between each coat. I'm going to do 3 coats, and then probably 4. The last one will just be a white one, really thin to finish it, and then buff it with some like a piece of paper bag. And if you want to see, I'll show you after I put this on the frame. I have that done. It's on the floor over there. So let's put this on, see how it goes on. Actually, pour some. I've seen people put on a couple different ways. Wipe it on, and like what I'm doing, just straight with the grain. I've seen people go in circles. This is what I'm going with. Let's see how it works. Now, if you worked with red oak before, you know it's a really porous. It's really open. So I'm sure this will take a decent amount of finish on the first coat, as with most wood will, but specifically red oak, because of how porous it is. I like it though. This really brings out the grain. And when we got this, we have a printer in our first due area, where our fire department is, that prints, does large format printing. So I was able to bring this down to them, and they printed our patch right directly on here. And there's 2 different ways they can do it. They can print with a white. They can print white down first, and then print whatever the graphic is over it. And that way, the wood grain or whatever you're printing on won't show through. Like if you look in the light areas, you can see the grain of the red oak, and up underneath the Fort Washington, you can really see it. One of our members at our fire company used to work for a company that sold the printers, and he's basically an expert on that stuff. So when the printer asked me which way we should go, I asked him, and he's like, I think it looks better without the white underneath, specifically when you're printing on wood, because you want to see the grain of the wood, which I agreed with. So that's what we did, and I think it looks really good. Probably gonna need some more finish. This is soaking it up pretty good. But wiping on fairly easy. This is the first time I've ever done a wipe on. You can also use the foam brushes, which I have. They seem to fall apart, and sometimes I get some of the foam in the workpiece. So I'm using the blue Scott shop towels. A lot of people recommended these, so I'm trying them out for the first time. This is no practice. Normally I would do a test piece, see how it goes, but I did a lot of research, and this armor seal I think is a good product. I think it's going to look really nice. So we're just going for it. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever put it on, so I'm definitely a novice. I'm not doing, and they say you shouldn't go back over spots. I'm just going on. I haven't touched the very corners of this. There we go. Actually, that little bit in this little cup, this is just like a, I think it had rice pudding in it. I saw another guy use these on one of the YouTube videos I watched. He used a pudding cup. Same thing this way. If you pour your finish in here, and if you, like in the beginning, if you want to dunk it in there, or if anything gets in here like dust or that kind of stuff, you know, you can just throw it out, and then your main container of finish doesn't get contaminated with whatever gets in here. That's the reasoning behind that. But this is about it. Looks pretty good. I'll let this dry overnight, and then come back tomorrow night and sand it 320. I just want to use the rest of this, throw it out. You're supposed to, can really, they said you can put it on liberally and then just see what it soaks up and wipe off the rest. I want to go over this right there I did first. Just put the rest of that on there. And this should fill some of the grain compared to some of the other finishes that wouldn't. I was watching actually the Wood Whisperer. He did a comparison on a couple different products, and this one did fill the grain a little bit, which is something that I would like to see. So I only got a pint because it does go a long way. You don't really need a ton of it. Like a quart would do a couple decent sized projects, so a pint more than enough for what I have. One thing I'll show in here, I wanted to get some new sandpaper, so I'm trying out this 3M Cubitron, and so far I haven't used it a ton. So I sanded the underside a couple times, the sides, and a little bit on the base, and I like it. Let me take this off the tripod real quick, and I'll show you the base. And then once I have this all done, I'll show it all put together. Sorry, I'm trying to get these gloves off. I'm trying not to be too loud because it's late at night and everyone's in bed.